So here I am, having just rolled out of bed. Haven't showered, haven't even had my bagel, can barely talk, can't see, eyes squinting. 9 a.m. PT, which is the earliest you're going to get a live streamer up. What has me so excited that I'm up before noon or whenever I normally wake up? Folks, that's right. Incredibly, the Democrats made a good decision. And I mean the Democrats. It's not just Kamala Harris. Apparently Pelosi's been pushing for this too, which is, I don't know, maybe Pelosi had a stroke or hit her head and she decided, what if I, as the effective, collective whip of the Democratic Party, actually did good things instead of bad things, It's all, she's trying to make up for the insider trading thing. I mean, like, all right, okay, give me a few more Tim Waltzes. Maybe you can, you can trade stock around all you want, Nancy. I don't care. Tim!
A working class politician from a rural background, Minnesota's Tim Walz is known for not pulling punches.
This is not about the Second Amendment. This is about the safety of our children and our communities.
A self-described white dude for Kamala Harris, the popular governor will now run alongside the nation's first woman of color atop.
Genuinely unbelievable. This guy is, I've already put the video out. We already watched him. If you want to, if you have time, you should watch like 50 videos of him. It is refreshing how much of a normal person he is. It is genuinely so refreshing. You have no idea that, the levels of normalcy that we're dealing with here are off the charts. Fascists always want to pretend the right cannot stand being called weird because fascists always want to pretend they're the default, they're the normal, and in reality, they're sad, weird, pathetic, disgusting, paraphilic, hateful freaks, who can't get out of bed every morning without fantasizing about the, sort of sexual and social grievances that they have to wage a private psychological war against to stave off the long walk off a short pier. And then you've got Tim Walz. Seriously, killer candidate, right? First of all, has a DUI, very American, military veteran, school teacher, phenomenal political record. Properly phenomenal too. In case you're wondering, like, okay, what kind of progressive? Like, all right, okay, so I hear this guy likes free school lunches for children. That's cool. What about, the other issues? Don't worry, folks. Don't worry. Yeah, I actually was scrolling Twitter as I woke up. I saw a picture of his lieutenant governor wearing a Protect Trans Kids shirt. But it wasn't just a normal Protect Trans Kids shirt. It had like a Bowie knife in between two lines of the phrase on the shirt. He's progressive. He's with progressive people. Stellar record. Minnesota's I believe he signed it into law, making it a trans sanctuary state, protecting them from some of the more pernicious and evil right-wing laws, some hateful laws they've been passing on a state level. I'm rambling. It's early, folks. It's early, but I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. You have no idea. Maybe the Democrats can govern. Well, let's not get crazy, okay? One ball knocked out of the park does not a MLB hitter make, but still.
A major party's ticket. Walz grew up in small-town Nebraska and joined the National Guard as a teenager. He'd serve in the National Guard for more than 2 decades, eventually becoming a school teacher. After moving to Minnesota, he volunteered for John Kerry's presidential campaign, and in an upset, he was elected to Congress in 2006. Walz served in Washington for the next 12 years, establishing himself as a moderate Democrat. Then he ran for governor in 2018.
The fools. They had no idea. Yes, he said. I'm just a moderate Democrat, clutching State and Revolution, which he held tightly in his pocket.
winning in a landslide.
The process of how we as a state and how we as a nation respond to these things is really important.
2020 would bring defining moments, the COVID pandemic and the killing of George Floyd, which triggered riots and criticism from Republicans over why it took Walz 3 days to call in the National Guard.
Decisions were made in a situation that is what it is, and I simply believe that we tried to do the best we can.
Walz's critics also point to a state audit report that found major failures by Minnesota's education department during the pandemic, allowing rampant misuse of a federal program meant to feed children.
If you commit fraud in Minnesota, you are...
Oh no. They love to do this, man. This is actually hold on. I just picked the short video at random because I didn't want to talk for too long because I'm sleepy pilled. This NBC video, gotta say, don't like the framing. First of all, you're missing the man's dubs. Man's got 50 dubs under his belt. You know this guy was a football coach too. Americans love that. You got to bring that up. Second of all, they love to do this shit with any kind of charitable program, any kind of welfare program, anything to help people. Hey. Did you know that the program that you put in place to help needy, underprivileged individuals is getting fleeced a little bit? I mean, it's impossible to avoid. It's an unavoidable outcome to an extent. Literally all programs will be abused to some extent. But is anyone, you know, how often do people talk about the PPP loans where people engaged in widespread fraud? You know, they were getting that shit thrown at them forever. There was a goddamn It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode about it. That's how widespread it was. It's like a common cultural fact. I bet you there was more fraud done than actual proper, you know, decently intended business loans. And it's like, well, did you know that in addition to some children getting fed, some folks ran off with money? Whatever. The framing aside, seriously, the man's political record is good. The man's framing good. The man's an attack dog. He's surprisingly aggressive for somebody with such a cheery and heartwarming demeanor. And he is a DUI, which will play well with the Midwest. We're in the good timeline, at least in this one specific instance. We're in a timeline with a good bit in it, and I'm happy. I really am. Never in a million years. The despair that I felt 2 months ago, the finality, the seeming unavoidability of Biden's candidacy. We were dead in the water, no hope. And now things are looking pretty good.
You are going to be caught and you are going to go to prison.
Still, Walz has long had strong union support. The president of the United Auto Workers says he was among his top choices for VP.
I had an opponent who thought this was a real zinger when we were going at it. He said, Governor Walz is in the pocket of organized labor. And I said, that is a damn lie. I am the pocket.
Oh, what is this feeling? What is this feeling, folks? This elusive feeling that I've never felt before. Is it perhaps a bit of elation and a brief moment of the Democrats being able to govern? It's so unfamiliar to me. One more time.
In the pocket of organized labor. And I said, that is a damn lie. I am the pocket.
Walz is also seen as an attack dog, not shy about going after former President Trump or his running mate, Senator J.D. Vance.
Well, it's true. These guys are just weird. And it's, you know, they're running for He-Man Women Haters Club or something.
To go from the Biden campaign where they, I mean, I'm not even saying, like, leaving aside the fact that they won't call Trump a pedophile, which as far as I'm concerned is electoral malpractice through negligence, they would barely even attack Trump. The fact that Trump literally has a 900-page document, effectively with his seal on it, saying, yeah, when Trump becomes president, he's going to end democracy. And the best that Biden could come up with in their first debate was he has the morals of an alley cat, you know? Oh, he's like an alley cat. He's so mischievous and self-serving, you said about the close personal friend of Epstein and child rapist. Okay. I don't think alley cats typically go to Little St. James. I think they're in the alley. And then you've got this. Tim Walz is basically the foreman for the You're Weird accusations, which, my God, can you imagine a better man to be throwing those out? And Kamala Harris. Both of them are powered by mirth and whimsy. Really, I couldn't be happier. You know, I'd be streaming right now if it wasn't 9:14 a.m. PT, which is earlier than anyone works, I think. I don't think anyone works this early. Stuff starts at like noon, I want to say. I shouldn't make these jokes. You know, people are going to clip them. They're going to be like, he doesn't know. Just so you guys know, used to be a security guard. Shift started at 5:30, 6, thereabouts. Those were early mornings. I hated that job. But they did let me wear a cool vest. Getting distracted. Very tired.
Now, the plain-spoken 60-year-old governor from the Midwest is set to join a historic national ticket. Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News.
I'm very happy. So go and celebrate and be mirthful. We're really up against the chopping block here, to mix metaphors. The right isn't done. For every mirth pill and whimsy max that we engage in, you know, for every smart political decision that the DNC establishment makes, which, okay. The right has its own tricks. They have money, not in the form of small dollar donations, or even necessarily in the form of just raw support, but in the form of oligarchs like Elon Musk, who will bend the rules for them, make PACs, violate the law, get it twisted in court. You've got the state officials in Georgia who are effectively threatening a coup. You know, you seen that? Have I covered that? I think I have. The Republican state officials in Georgia who are essentially saying that they're not letting Georgia happening again. Or they're not letting it happen again, no matter what they have to do. You know, don't get complacent. We need to be defending the Kamala Walz ticket with everything we got. We have to be posting with an energy the likes of which you just haven't seen before, folks. Okay, I need you guys getting out there with 2016 Bernie levels. This ain't 2016 Bernie, though honest to God, Tim Walz is in a lot of ways pretty close, not just for his political demeanor, but he's also got, snow white hair and a very receded hairline. He actually has Bernie energy in a lot of ways. I genuinely think that he's kind of like a perfect blend of Bernie and Biden for electability, where of course he's got this like kindly grandpa with left politics vibe from Bernie, but at the same time he has this kind of like, I don't know, this kind of like tough as nails, like good old boy Americana vibe from Biden. You know, they've sort of tempered each other into the perfect Midwestern Democrat, which, as we all know, New York Democrats with a supermajority, you get Clinton. Midwestern Democrats with a 1-vote margin, you get Vladimir Lenin, 2. Or hopefully not Vladimir Lenin, because he was actually kind of a bastard. And, he had the anarchists killed and he betrayed the working class because he dissolved the workers' councils and immediately. Vladimir Lenin, folks, you read him for the theory. Man had a big head, but when it came down to the moment, the historical moment, he just didn't have the stones. He couldn't commit to it. Anyway, be happy. And you can't say be a shooter for anyone anymore in politics, wokeness took that away for us. Actually, Tim Walz got shooters, but not like that. I'm very groggy. I didn't even have my customary shot of 5-hour energy in the morning that I take before the shower, and then after the shower I have the coffee, and then I stream usually. The sacrifices that I make for you, honestly, you have no idea. 9:19 a.m. The birds aren't even up this early. I'm in a good mood. So, go and celebrate.